You know that persistent feeling you've carried for so long? That yearning desire for change, whether it's your love life, your financial situation, your career, or simply the life you lead? You've looked around and maybe even pointed fingers. You see circumstances, people, situations, and think, if only this would change, if only this person could act differently, then my life would finally fall into place. But let me share something with you that's going to shift everything. There's absolutely no one to change but yourself. Neville Goddard, the legendary mystic and manifestation teacher, spent his entire life illuminating this very profound truth. You, and only you, hold the power to transform your world. And the mechanism of this transformation isn't about altering external conditions. It's about reshaping your inner world. Think deeply about this. Everything outside you, every person, situation, every circumstance you perceive as real, is merely an outpicturing of your inner assumptions. Your assumptions shape your reality, not the other way around. We constantly fall into this cycle of illusion, believing that if the external reality shifts, we'll finally feel peace, joy, success, and love. But Neville insisted firmly and consistently that reality does not shape your assumptions. Your assumptions shape reality. So how do you truly internalize and master this principle? Let's dive deeply together. Imagine a woman named Maria. Maria has struggled in her relationship for years. She constantly finds herself frustrated with her partner, feeling that he doesn't communicate enough, isn't affectionate enough, or doesn't understand her needs. Day after day, Maria tries everything to change him. She talks, argues, pleads, waits, and yet nothing significantly shifts. Why? Because her deep-rooted assumptions about herself and her relationship haven't changed. Now, what happens when Maria stops trying to change him and instead turns inward? She starts affirming new assumptions. She vividly imagines the relationship she desires. She feels into it deeply, experiencing the love, the harmony, and the joy right now in her imagination without waiting for external validation or evidence. Day by day, this inner assumption solidifies until it feels absolutely real and natural. And then, something astonishing begins to happen. Her partner starts reflecting these changes. Conversations become deeper, affection blossoms, and suddenly, Maria realizes her partner didn't change at all. Rather, she changed her assumptions, and her partner simply mirrored those new assumptions. Neville Goddard reminds us constantly, everyone is yourself pushed out. Every relationship, every interaction, every event you encounter is simply reflecting back to you what you assume to be true. This principle extends far beyond relationships. It applies to every single aspect of your life. Consider your career. Imagine someone like James, stuck in a job he dislikes, feeling undervalued, underpaid, and utterly stagnant. For years, James assumes the problem lies outside himself. The boss, the economy, the industry. He waits for something external to rescue him. Nothing changes. But once James internalizes Neville's teachings, he realizes the only change that matters is within himself. James begins to cultivate the assumption of success. He vividly imagines being valued, being highly paid, and deeply fulfilled in his career. He saturates his imagination with this new assumption daily until it takes root in his consciousness as undeniable fact. Soon enough, circumstances align. New opportunities emerge, recognition flows effortlessly, and James's entire professional landscape transforms completely. The world didn't change. James changed, and thus, his world shifted accordingly. Here's the key point. If your internal assumptions don't align with your desired outcome, no amount of external force will shift your reality sustainably. Neville puts it simply, yet powerfully. Change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. Now, let's get practical. How exactly do you change these internal assumptions? Neville's methods are straightforward, yet profoundly powerful. Every single night, as you drift into sleep, arguably your most powerful manifesting state, you must vividly imagine yourself experiencing the reality you desire. Feel deeply into the fulfillment of your wish. Embody it completely, vividly, and emotionally until your subconscious mind accepts this new assumption as fact. When you awake, walk through your day holding firmly to this inner certainty. Regardless of what appears externally, do not waver. Remember Neville's powerful insight. Persist until it hardens into fact. Let me share another inspiring story with you. Think about Sarah, who faced years of financial struggles. Sarah had always assumed that money was scarce, that abundance was something distant and difficult to achieve. Frustrated, exhausted, and disheartened, Sarah finally discovered Neville's teachings. She embraced wholeheartedly this profound truth that there is absolutely no one and nothing external to change. Sarah began persistently imagining financial abundance nightly, feeling profoundly grateful, secure, and prosperous in her imagination. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and slowly opportunities began appearing, seemingly out of nowhere. Promotions, new job offers, unexpected income, they all flowed into Sarah's life effortlessly. Was it magic? Not at all. It was simply the law at work. Her inner assumptions, once shifted, transformed her outer reality completely. You see, every challenge you face, every difficult circumstance, every person who seems stubbornly unchangeable is nothing more than a mirror reflecting your internal assumptions. When you change those assumptions, your reality follows automatically. Neville was uncompromising in teaching this truth. You and only you are responsible for your life experience. This realization may seem daunting, yet it's profoundly liberating. Because once you realize there's absolutely no one to change but yourself, you reclaim your power completely. Stop pointing fingers at external circumstances or waiting helplessly for others to act differently. Right here, right now, claim your power back. Feel into your desired reality as a present fact, as something already done. And watch with awe and gratitude as your world reshapes itself according to your newly held inner assumptions. In closing, embody Neville's timeless wisdom. There is no one to change but self. Remember, you are the master creator of your own reality, and everything external is merely reflecting your internal state. Persist with this understanding, and you'll find yourself living the life you've always dreamed of, because it has been within you all along.